Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is evenleasesc, and today on Ship Preview, right behind me, we have the DRAKE Golem. All new in the PTU right now. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, welcome back to another ship preview. I haven't done one of these since the Zeus, but it is awesome to see a brand new ship into one of the gaming loops like mining, which this ship is a mining vessel from DRAKE. The DRAKE Golem is a cute little ship, very industrial feel to it, as you can see looking at this thing. It is quite awesome looking, and I am actually kind of surprised just how small it is, which will we take a look at in here in just a second. Now, since this is a preview video, there's not going to be any rating score at the end or anything. You'll have my review on this ship once it is live and all the stats are, you know, quote unquote, final for right now and the update 4.1. But here we go. This ship here does have two size 1 CF117 laser repeaters on the front of it, giving a total of 234 damage per second. And then, being a DRAKE ship, in its all fashion, has two size 1 Spark 1 missiles. So, I mean, what are you going to do with these things? You're not a combat ship, but it's just nice that it has it. It might deter someone just for a second if they get a missile lock and hopefully give you enough time to get out of there. Now, otherwise, this thing, like I said, it's a mining ship. So it comes with the Pitman mining laser, which is bespoke to this ship, and it comes with two size 1 module spots, which is pretty cool. I haven't tried it mining yet, but we are going to do that during this video. Now, this ship does hold 32 SCU of ore in those 2 ore bags, holding 16 per. So we'll take a look at that. We'll pull them off the ship and see how easy that is. Otherwise, this ship does have 24 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 1 SCU of quantum fuel, or just under 1 SCU of quantum fuel. It's just like just under. Now, the top speed is 203 SCM with a top nav speed of 1010. And of course, all these numbers could change between now and its actual live release. Whether that's this Friday or next week, we just don't know. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, let's go ahead and continue taking a look at this ship. I'm going to go ahead and get into the pilot seat. But before I do, we're going to take a look at all the areas like any sort of weapons lockers, storage areas, component areas. We'll take the mining bags off and put them back on. Let's have a little bit of fun with this before we do. Now, from this point forward, I'm going to have all game audio on except for music, just so we can take a look at how this ship sounds when we do pretty much anything with it. So let's go ahead and start. We're taking a look at the exterior here. Let's see where some of the access points are. First, starting with this side, you do have a storage access point right here. I'm going to go ahead and close that up. I can't believe I left that open. It doesn't seem to be closing. But otherwise, when you open this, this is where you'll have your storage. Obviously, I can't seem to do that right now. I opened it back in the hangar, and it never closed. It's one of those bugs that just happens with some of these storage areas. Hopefully, something that's fixed before its live release. And then taking a look over here, you do have one of your weapon racks, which if you open that, you can see I already have a handgun there. And you could probably put, a medical device or a multi-tool here, which is pretty cool. And hold on to that, and I gotta like that. Let's go ahead and close that up and take a look at the other weapons locker. Now, if we go to this side, you do have a second weapon rack, and if you open that up, you can carry a rifle, which is just awesome. So you have 2 of them, one on each side, and it even says it, rifle. You gotta love the detail right there, right? Now, this is where you enter the ship. This is the front of the ship. Just picture it like an ROC. You walk straight up to it, and you press this button right here, and that'll allow you to get into the ship, which we'll do in just a second. Let's go ahead and continue looking at some of this detail on here. So over here, you do have a fuel port, and no, it's not this right here. It's actually here, and there's the button there. If you click that, it brings out that fuel port. Very interesting that you would put something that has a very flammable substance that could potentially be caking the outside of it, depending on which DRAKE pilot's loading the fuel in there, and then you have a thruster right next to it. So it's a recipe for disaster, but, it's just where it's at. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the ship. You do have, like I said, 2 of these ore bags here, the one here in the center, and then one right behind it. Let's take out our tractor beam if we can with the smaller one and remove it from the ship. All right, so to remove these ore bags here, you do have to unlock your ship ports. To do that, you get into the cockpit, you hit right Alt K, and that'll unlock the ports. It'll have it come up on screen saying ship ports unlocked. Once you do that, you can go ahead and grab your ore pod and take it on down, just like that. Nice and easy. Ooh, I just put it right back on. Let's pull that off just again here and bring it all the way out. The engine seems to be in the way. Try it from this side. So there you go. You can put the engines into VTOL before you would do this. Let's go ahead and bring it out this way. So you got one ore pod there, and then another ore pod. Let's see if we can just bring it straight out the back. We should be able to. Yes, perfect. So if you don't move those engines, don't waste your time. Just go ahead and bring it straight through the back like that. Now, once that's there, you can see where they would connect these ore pods to. So very easy disconnect, very easy to go ahead and put that on a C2 Hercules that's working alongside of you, and to grab a few extra empty ones off that ship and just continue your work. Now, as we take a look in here, we do have a lot of component access that is hiding on the walls of this ship here from the inside, which is kind of too bad. You can't access these things unless the ore pods are off the ship. So that's something. It's not a terrible thing, but here is the access points. Let's go ahead and close this. Oh, that was right above me. Oh, that was cool. Let's try opening that one again. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful. If you don't put that in there right and you open that door, you're just going to get hit in the head by a shield generator. Now let's go make our way over here. We should have a couple more component areas. It seems like all component access is only accessible once you have both ore pods off, which I guess makes sense instead of putting them on the outside, because there's not room due to the engines. So with that, now you know where all the locations are for the components. Now let's go ahead and get those ore pods back on and start a little bit of mining here and see how well that goes. So again, let's see how easy it is to put these on here. It should be a cakewalk, right? As long as the tractor beam will hold on to it. All right, bring it on in. We'll bring it in that way first, then just drop it down and push it back. That should be straight. There we go, perfect. And then bring this one on in. There we go. Easy. Very easy. Oh, that was super easy. I don't mind that at all. And of course, if you ever want to put your VTOL thrusters down, you just hit K on the keyboard. You're good to go. Now, let's go ahead and hop into the ship where you would by pressing the button here. It's going to go ahead and open up just like the ROC. Your seat's going to come down. You're going to go ahead and get in. This thing is going to be a hot box. You do have a fan behind you, as you can see when the thing opened up, but still, you're in just a nice metal box. And like I said, I don't know if I've said this, but there is no interior, no bed, no nothing. So this is just it here, your cockpit. And you have some of your buttons, your lights, all sorts of different things, enable VTOL. So that's pretty nice. And then you have your two MFDs and your radar system with a few more buttons up top. So let's go ahead and power this thing on and see what we can do about mining and show you that mining laser.
Engines online.
So I'm going to go ahead and press M on the keyboard to deploy the laser, which, as you can see, it's going to go ahead and slide all the way to the front. And then the arm's going to go ahead and attract out. Oh, wow. Okay, so that was actually a pretty cool animation. It's very tucked away. I like that. Let's go ahead and try mining now. Let's see what this rock looks like here. As you can see on the right side of the screen, that's going to start jumping up pretty quick based off that charge there, as I have the laser at 100%. So we just got to make sure we keep it in the optimal area, no overcharging. Drop it down a little bit. Now, to power your laser up and down, you hold left Alt and you scroll wheel. So that's all it takes to do that. Should crack right through in just a second. Perfect. Okay, so anything that is showing up purple is good to go ahead and extract from. So I'm going to hit left Alt, mouse button 1. That'll switch it to extraction mode, and I'll go ahead and start that process. As you can see, it's going to start collecting, and my cargo will start filling here on the right side. So that rock is now done. Let's move on to the next one. Looks like we're able to collect all of these rocks, which is great. Now let's go ahead and head over to one of the mining stations on the moon here and compare it to some other ships. Comparing it here, you can see it's almost as small as a Mirai Razor, which is just insane how tiny this ship is. So let's go ahead and lift off here with the Razor, and I'm going to bring it right on over top of the ship here just to see how, sizable this is in comparison. It's pretty crazy. So now we'll go ahead and change that camera view, make sure we're not moving, and there we go. Just back it up an inch. There we go. That's insane. That is a very small ship. If you're asking me, what a fantastic ship to grab if you want to do any sort of mining operation. This thing is just tiny. So I'm betting its visibility out there on radar is going to be pretty small. But if it's not, at least you're going to be a pretty hard target to hit, right? All right, as you can see, now I have an ROC to my right, and the ROC isn't technically that big of a ground vehicle, right? But that just shows you how small this golem really is, just because like two and a half of the ROCs, you got the length of the golem, maybe 3 at most, but that's pretty insane. And the fact that the Razor is one of the smallest ships with a quantum drive, yet this thing is practically the same size. That's crazy. I wish I had more ships in the PTU to show you in comparison, but I just don't. Most of my ships are on live and I didn't bring them over, yada yada. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this preview and just taking a quick look at this ship. Obviously, during my review, I'll try to show more angles. Comment down below a couple things for me. What do you think the price of this ship's going to be? And what would you like to see this ship compared to or landed on or inside of for the review? Let me know and I'll make sure to have it happen. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.